Hey, good afternoon, Justice Seekers. This is my second video for today. My first video I tried to do live and it worked out just great. My second video, I'm hoping that this will work out to do not live. And, I don't want to burden you guys with my problems, but the lighting, the hair, the makeup, the Wi-Fi, I'm not technologically inclined by choice. I mean, once I learn how to do something, I'm fine. But I like to do things more au natural, like gardening and exercising and hanging out with my family and my pets. So I enjoy hanging out with you. So thank you for joining me. This has been an interesting month. The lighting is just a little bit weird, but hopefully it's okay. Afternoons are rougher than mornings and nights. So let me just get on. There is so much I want to share with you guys. So on the video that I made this morning, I used for my thumbnail, the photograph of Kylie, kind of like this, with her hair all in her face, and Jagger looks like they're probably embraced, and he just looks so blissed out. He looks so in love and happy. And what I see on her face and in her eyes is like she's freaked out. At first, when I first saw that photo, I thought, oh, it's just a photo. And then the more I learn about this case, I think a photo says 1,000 words, in my humble opinion. So everything I say is my opinion only. Purely speculation for the sake of conversation, education, hopefully, and entertainment, discussion. And I hope that you get a lot out of it. I hope you enjoy it. I want to apologize for the drab background today. Like I said, the stupid freaking lighting. I will get it taken care of. So I've got like 6 pages of notes and I've whittled it down. I mean, there's just so much going on. And I want to try to keep this concise. I don't like them to be more than half an hour at the most. And, sometimes they have to be. Like, if you've ever watched one of these discussions with several people on panel, those things have to be like minimum an hour, bare minimum. Couple hours, 5 hours. It's ridiculous how long they have to be to get everybody's 2 cents in. But that's how real life is. So, if you don't have the patience for that kind of thing, that's sort of what I've been trying to gear my channel towards, because I actually do have the patience for that kind of thing, oddly enough. But I'm doing other stuff while I'm paying attention to that. I love to sew, and I love to sew by hand. So there's no machine noise. And I can sew and fix clothes and make clothes and just have all kinds of creative fun while I've got my videos going. I also like to make jewelry, but I get so caught up in that I can't even pay attention to the videos. So with looking at YouTube, sewing is a perfect complement to that. Also, like boring stuff like folding laundry, doing chores. You can get a lot accomplished if you have it worked out correctly. So what I want to capitalize on, a couple of things. I devised a little term yesterday that I'm hoping will catch on. And I think it's super cute and I want to take full credit. Maybe someone else has come up with it simultaneously or prior and I just haven't heard about it. The catfishing crew. That's what I want to call the people, whoever they are, that are plotting against, let's just say, social media, okay? Plotting against trying to find the truth. The catfishing crew. For anybody who doesn't know, catfishing is this whole thing that happens online, usually with dating and people putting up a fake profile, pretending that they're some hunky model movie star to get somebody to go on a date with them. And then, they show up and they have to kill you because now you've seen that they're not who they said they were. Funny, not funny, right? The other thing I want to say about the catfishing crew is that they're grasping at straws. In my opinion, in my conspiracy theory, alleged opinion, they are absolutely grasping at straws. Like they have nothing. But these people are used to having the upper hand, having full power and control over everyone and everything. And, they're not used to Adventures with Purpose. They're not used to Ryan Upchurch. They're not used to Zav Girl and Paula Plunder and all these others that are kind of synergistically working together and working independently and just really seeking truth and justice, in my opinion. And, the good will win over evil in the end, every time, as far as I'm concerned. Again, in my humble opinion. So, I think they're grasping at straws. I think that they just created a fake video of a car going into a lake. If that was real, don't you think we would have seen it about 2 months ago? Of course, law enforcement would have seen it about 2 months ago, and they would be disclosing it to the public now, saying, well, look what we found right up front. And we just couldn't share it with you because we're trying to protect the integrity of our investigation. And I'm telling you, corrupt law enforcement abuses that power. We're trying to protect the integrity of our investigation. Yeah, everybody wants law enforcement to protect the integrity of any investigation, of course. Otherwise, you're never going to have truth. You're never going to have justice. But when they're misusing that and stating that that's what they're doing, when that's not what they're doing, it's simply not okay. So in my first video this morning, I mentioned like boycotting Truckee, right? In Placer County. And then I watched that crazy guy, crazy in a good way, I think, what is his name? Van Holding speaks, something like that. He's pretty outrageous. You know who I'm talking about, and I want to give him a big shout out because I think he's good. I think he's smart. I think he's honest. He gets a little dramatic, and I have no problem with that. I like the entertainment. I take it with a grain of salt, I just think, okay, well, that might be crossing the line in my opinion or someone else's, but he's his own person. He can do his own thing. So I watched his video from this morning, and he talked about boycotting, I think, something like that. I mean, my mind is just spinning. I try to calm myself down before I make these videos, but as you could see in my video this morning, I am pissed. I'll just say it. I'm just being upfront. It's obvious, right? I couldn't hide it if I tried, even with that laugh and the smile and all the rest of it. Damn these people. Quit with the crap. This is real life. Kylie lost her life. She wasn't even 17. She has a little half brother who's going to grow up not knowing WTF. Her father, her grandfather, they don't seem very happy, do they? I don't understand why these people think this is okay. And at the same time, I do understand, okay? I honestly, seriously do understand. But it's not cool, and it's not okay, and you got to check yourself and get a grip, or you are doomed. You really are. It's not safe for anybody to live like that, in my humble opinion. People commit suicide all the time. People just go bonkers. Often people think, oh, I can get away with murder or this or that or the other thing. And yeah, they might be able to skate away from the law, especially if they have the law in their back pocket. But they might have somebody in their family. They might have a friend. They might have a conscience, something that steers them straight. And then it's hard to reconcile. And I believe in forgiveness. I believe that the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. When we make a mistake, especially if it hurts somebody that we care about, it's really hard to forgive ourselves. But we have got to exercise forgiveness, in my opinion, for everybody. But in order to do that, people have to be honest. People have to fess up, right? It's a fact. Okay. A fact in my humble opinion. So does Check It TV have a GoFundMe account? Really? No. It might have been created on the 14th of September this year. You might want to check it out if that bothers you, or you're curious, or you want to give them your money, whatever it is. And what I really want to hit on, I don't think I've even touched on this yet, maybe I have, is Sammy trying to explain away her DNA preemptively all over Kylie's physical being and all over her car with this, oh yeah, we were together every second of the night and peeing together, which is how some of my DNA could have gotten on her, and sharing the same cup, which is how my DNA got up her nose and down her throat and in her eyes and in her ears. And yeah, we kept going back to her car because her phone kept dying and we kept charging it up, and so my DNA is all over the inside of her car. Oh yeah, because we were also going there to drink, so we were in there some more, and my DNA got everywhere. So yeah, makes sense, right? Oh my goodness. Like, when people oversell a story, that's suspicious. So, allegedly, Sammy was always the one to sell alcohol at these parties, allegedly. And allegedly, Kylie and Mags were going to sell some alcohol that night. And there was stress and tension in the relationships between Sammy and Kylie and Mags, and allegedly that's why Mags left right after she got there. That's kind of a rumor that's been going around the internet that, like, how are we going to validate that, right? It's just a story, allegedly. So it would make a lot more sense of why Mags left right after she got there, whether it was 10 minutes or even 40 minutes. You know, you don't go to a party to just leave unless you ripped your pants or your cat got hit by a car or something, you know. I mean, most kids want to go to a party to see their friends, and they want to stay till the sun comes up, and then when it goes down again, and then when it comes up again, right? Most of us have been teenagers, right? All of us have. But most of us remember it well. And a lot of us were like that. I mean, come on. They think that they invented this. So I have a question for you guys. You know the photograph, the only one that we think might have actually come from that night, the one with the people all lined up, and there's like a light off in the distance on the left side of the picture, and there's a few people, most people are wearing hoodies. There's one girl who's got like naked arms and she's like this, and you can kind of see her profile. She's got long blonde hair and she's tall and slender, and to me it looks a lot like Kate. Her posture, the way she holds her body, looks a lot like Kate. And I thought in the beginning Kate said she was there at the party. She said that it really had that like Lord of the Flies kind of thing going. And then that kind of fell on its face. People kind of freaked out about the description that her and Sammy were giving of the Lord of the Flies at a party. Like, say what? And then she changed her story to that she wasn't at the party, and never gave an excuse of why she wasn't at the party. Like, she wasn't feeling well, she was tired, she wasn't allowed, she just didn't want to go, whatever it was. And then, you know, the early stories that I remember were that Jagger said he was at the party, and then that story changed to that he was not at the party, and that he was fishing with his dad in Napa, and then he drove the 4-hour drive at 8 in the morning before anybody really realized she was missing, when they had just shown up to Starbucks to see if she was going to show up. And then he wasn't really worried because he knew he'd find her, or somebody would find her, and everything would be okay. He knew she was safe, blah, blah, blah. These stories are just stories, and it's obvious to me, in my opinion. So In that photograph of the people lined up looking at whatever it is they're looking at off in the yonder, and whatever white light apparition that is in the photograph, I don't know. But what I do see with my naked eye is what looks like a white long sleeve shirt on the left hand lower corner in the foreground. And I'm wondering whose shirt that is and why it's laying on the ground, especially if that one girl is all chilly. Did she drop her shirt? It's probably not the white sweatshirt with the pink writing Odd Future on it. But I just think it's odd how these shirts keep getting passed around and mentioned. The white sweatshirt, the black sweatshirt, the gray sweatshirt. All those are hoodies. And then we got the black spaghetti strap. And then the black tank top. No black tank top. Black spaghetti strap. Yeah. Bodysuit, not tank top. Oh, the gaslighting. It's really annoying. And it makes you just want to say, forget it. I'm not listening to any of this anymore, right? That's the intention. So another weird thing is, how weird is it that all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, a photograph of Kylie sleeping in a car starts circulating? Why? Why'd that photograph start circulating all of a sudden? To prove that Kylie has slept in a car? Haven't we all slept in a car? That's something that happens. Nobody is going to argue if somebody's ever slept in a car before, I don't think. But as soon as I saw that photograph, I got really spooked. I instantly wondered, just like with the Summer Wells photograph of her like crashed out on the milk jugs in the back seat. Is this person injured, deceased, breathing, barely breathing, not breathing? I just got really suspicious of that picture as soon as it started to show up, and I've remained suspicious pretty much ever since. But then, I think that we need to scrutinize everything, and we need to ask ourselves why. Why is this being presented to the public? So, the kindness and honor that the mother mentions, I have a thing that I've been wanting to say about that for a long time. And I'm sorry if it sounds snarky, but there's kindness and honor in not killing people. And there's also kindness and honor in showing gratitude for people that are trying to help you. Just saying. So, allegedly, a week after Kylie went missing, maybe on the 17th of August, there is some 911 dispatch tape that Living Lake Time put out a little video about a couple days ago. And it says that there's a vehicle looking like Kylie's near the place where the photograph was taken at the RV deli place that nobody was allowed to know where that photograph was taken for some odd reason. And the reason I bring that up is because in the dispatch tape, it says to wait until like 7 in the morning, to wait until 700 hours. And that is dictated from 1S6 to 1S2. And I know from having law enforcement or family that works in law enforcement that those are numbers that represent individuals in your police department. So usually number one is going to be your police chief or your sheriff. And then number two might be your sergeant or, your captain, something like that. And it goes down. So here we have 1S6 is saying, when this information is called in, the dispatcher says, as per 1S6, wait until 700 hours for 1S2. So that makes me think, well, 1S2 is the person coming on duty at 7 in the morning, and 1S6 is the person in charge. But I don't know. 2 comes before 6, so I don't know. Just a guess. So in that tape, or in the print, if you read the in the video that Lakeside Living Lake Time made, it says that something is on top of the CRV. And that is really interesting to me. Like, what's on top of the CRV? We don't even know if it's Kylie's CRV, do we? But it might be. And what's interesting is that, like, why would you wait 5 hours when you get a call at 911 dispatch? Why on earth would you wait 5 hours? Unless something was scheduled. I don't know. Somebody's scheduled to come to work and they're going to take care of it because let me see what else I got. I am just kind of beside myself with how many things need to be talked about here. So, going back to, I think, the last press conference that the sheriffs had, the person talking was actually a California State Highway Patrolman. And he's wearing a tan shirt, similar to the tan shirts that the Nevada County Sheriff's deputies and sheriff wear. But he is the guy with the goatee, kind of strawberry blonde hair. And he's the one who screwed up and said something about a cover-up. So that's been circulating around today. I'm sure you guys have already caught that. He said, like, oh, we closed the boat ramp to cover up. I mean, not to cover up. These things are just nuts, okay? But he said a lot of funny things. So one of the first funny things is, to me, in my opinion, was when he was saying, well, we've had all of these entities out here. We've had Placer County Sheriff, Nevada County Sheriff, FBI, California State Highway Patrol, Truckee Police Department. And it reminded me of that Napoleon Dynamite. We got skills, we got ninja skills, we got Jedi skills. I mean, if you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, you know what I'm talking about, and it's hilarious. So right after that, at 35:03 in the video, I was watching this on an Armchair Detective video a couple days ago. So Armchair Detective was playing the video of the conference. And so it was at 35:03, he says, even when you fly a helicopter over an area, you only have less than 5% chance of being able to see what you are searching for due to trees, growth, dirt, etc. Okay. But when you don't have any of that because the thing that you're looking for is like in the middle of a really shallow crystal clear lake, that's not relevant. Okay? Just saying. Sure, if you're looking for something and it might be hidden under the trees, then yeah, you have less than a 5% chance because you're looking at a lot of area and you don't know where exactly to look. But I just thought it was really obnoxious that he says that when the car was then found in the crystal clear water, the not very deep crystal clear water, the extremely close to where Kylie's phone last pinged, and right underfoot of where the search happened. So most of us remember that there was allegedly a fisherman, and I think we've all seen photographs and videotape of a fisherman, or what looks like a fisherman's boat, parked in the water right over where the vehicle was later discovered. And, you know, when police are searching, they clear an area and they rope it off with tape and they tell people, sorry, not sorry, you need to take a hike and let us do our job. So it makes no sense that they would not clear out this boat unless if it was all part of some conspiracy. I don't even like using that word. It's just, this whole thing is just so obnoxious. So one of the things that this California Highway Patrolman says is that Placer County was still the primary dive team even after Kylie was located by Adventures with Purpose. He makes it a point to say that Placer County was still the primary dive team. I had not caught that before, so I wanted to point that out to everybody. I don't know if there's other dive teams that could have been selected, like Nevada County. Do they have their own dive team? But I just think it's really important because there's issues with Placer County. Placer County's sheriff's son was allegedly at the party. And the Placer County sheriff has a very shady history that is detailed and outlined in a legal document, an affidavit, I'll say it again, from May 15th of 2022. And the fourth video that I made for this channel is me reading that affidavit out loud. And it's about 30 minutes long, and I think it's extremely important. I'll say it again. I've said it several times. It lays the foundation for this whole thing, okay? In my humble opinion. So, he also says the FBI has offered up assistance, and I wrote this down word for word, and are going to be helping with the investigation regarding the vehicle itself to make sure that we don't miss anything. Why would you miss anything? You're detectives. It's a vehicle. How hard is that? Okay? I'm sorry if I'm being insulting, because I honestly have so much respect for law enforcement, but what gets me is one bad apple can screw up the integrity of the entire industry, especially in this day and age with all the problems that have been going on. And again, those problems have only been uncovered and revealed and rectified because everybody's got a video camera. We shouldn't have to police the police, should we? We should be able to trust them. They're not teenagers, come on. But they act like it. It's definitely like Arrested Development. So, again, I don't want to be insulting any law enforcement. It's the most noble and honorable profession that I know of. I mean, seriously, it takes a lot. He also mumbles something about that assistance, and the FBI is going to be helping to conduct an investigation regarding the vehicle itself. I already said that. Making sure we don't miss anything. Making sure we don't miss something that may be in there, and so that we are not allowed. That's what I heard him say. And then he just like drops off. Making sure that we don't miss something that may be in there that we are not allowed. This is at the 33-minute, 50-second mark. Come again? I listened to it several times. I'm like, is that really what he says? And then that pause that he made right after that at the 35-minute mark when one of the reporters asked him, was there more than one body in the vehicle? And he made that long, pregnant pause, looked up like he was thinking, and said, no, there was not more than one body. There could be a number of reasons why he had that long, pregnant pause and looked up, but it's sus, right? Okay, I still have a lot to cover, and here we are. We're just at 15 minutes, so... I already did that. I'm trying to put my pages over here after I cover them. Megan, the mom that's been running around on the circuit of YouTube channels, true crime YouTube channels, who says that she wants to be wrong, but she knows that she can't be about all this. And she says that she thinks it happened either that day or the next. She can't make sense of what she knows, and she says she doesn't want to know. These were things that she said, I believe, in the What's the Obsession interview the night before last. That was like late at night into the wee hours of the morning. And again, it's my opinion that she was really coming around, that the people on the panel were very kind and friendly and warm and embracing to her, and that she was very responsive to that. That it was clear to me that this woman is traumatized and she doesn't know what to say or do. She was trying to keep the peace, and that wasn't going so well. She was getting challenged, and, you know, it was a difficult day. She had a good panel to kind of hold her hand and walk her through, and I don't think they were lying when they were acting like they really cared about her. I think, in my opinion, they honestly do care about her. You know, we all need help. It's okay. It's all right to need help, and we're all in this together. We're all trying to help each other out. So one of the problems that I have with this whole case is that you can't change what you said. When it's on tape, you can't change it, okay? It's on tape. People saw it, and they can replay it. And they can replay it in slow motion, which is really bad because we all sound horrible when you play it in slow motion, but it's good for the effect. And this is what investigators do. This is why they tape conversations, so that they can play them again and again and play them in slow motion and pick up nuances that you just can't pay attention to everything when you're right there in the moment. So it's old school in crime. You pick a story and you stick with it. You absolutely cannot change your story. Unless you want to say, well, I lied and this is the truth. And then because you lied, even though you're possibly admitting the truth, it still is questionable. And mind you, that criminals always lie. They never tell the truth, okay? That's fact, in my humble opinion, okay? It's just the way law enforcement thinks, knowing that not only that the criminals lie, but the people who call 911 are also often inaccurate, either intentionally or unintentionally. It's the police officer's job to determine what the actual facts of the situation are. You don't accept what somebody says, like a teenager who is drunk at the party and has some wackadoodle story. That's not what you take at face value. You just don't. You take it in as information, and then you work with it from there. So I also have not mentioned or heard anyone mention, and it's always bothered me, those white t-shirts with the Find Kylie writing on them. The idea of it doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is how horribly written it is. And I'm not like a stickler for penmanship. Believe me, you should see my writing. But they could have done better. They could have gotten better pens. They could have gotten better t-shirts. I mean, it's just all hacked up, and it's almost like it's intentional to show that they don't care. I don't know. Just my opinion. And then even it was written on the window of the car that Sammy's sitting in when she's in her interview with Tony Dodge. You can kind of see some of the letters backwards. It's in capitals, Find Kylie, right outside her window. Like, just, it's overdone. It's weird. We know that. You don't need me to tell you that. But in another video of Sammy in a car talking to the news, every time she mentions Kylie's name, she just has this look of disgust, like she's going to throw up or something. Sorry, I get really thirsty when I'm talking, and I want to stay hydrated, and my hair's a mess. Okay. It's just one of those days. Okay, here we go. Something else that bothered me was law enforcement stating, we have no interest in arresting anybody from this party for anything, especially drugs and alcohol. So please come forward and tell us what you got. We have no interest in arresting anybody? Really? Even if they were doing something illegal? Like extremely illegal? It's a weird thing for law enforcement to say. And I don't know that anyone's going to buy it. But maybe around there they might. It seems like it's a different planet there in Truckee in Placer County. So I've said this many times, but not enough, in my opinion. How do you clear a person from something that's undetermined time an undetermined date, an undetermined time, an undetermined incident. How do you clear somebody from that? Because we all know they keep saying that Jagger's been cleared, even though he's changed his story at least 2 times, maybe 3. I think it went from, in my perspective, it went from I was at the party to I wasn't at the party to I was at a different party, my own party. But who cares where he was? How do you clear him from something that you don't know the date of it and you don't know what it is? These people make no sense, okay? Nothing's been determined. You can't be cleared when nothing's been determined. Ugh. Let me get that turned off. Sorry about that. Turning that off. All right. So I'm just about through my notes here. The other thing that's always gotten me, this is the last thing. Sammy's words when she's talking about the party to Tony Dodge in that interview. And she says, the party was a chance to say goodbye to your favorite seniors. I've just always kind of heard that the wrong way. Like a chance to say goodbye to your favorite seniors. I could be reading into it. I'm sure I am. I think that the autopsy is going to show things that they might not disclose to the public because the family will say we don't want to have that be publicly disclosed, and Kylie was a minor. And again, the integrity of the case is the utmost importance, as is public health and safety. Public safety is the primary responsibility of first responders. That's the business that they're in, public health and safety. Police, it's safety. Firefighters, paramedics, it's health. But for all of them, they're all in public health and safety. They all work together, right? And they all can hopefully they have a set of skills that they can help each other out. So maybe that was some of the other entities that were out there searching. Maybe some were law enforcement and some were firefighters and some were paramedics. I don't know. I don't know how they had 18 or so entities out there. I don't know how they had 60 entities out there. I don't know how they had almost 20,000 hours, billable hours, out there and failed to notice a vehicle in the water 55 feet from the shoreline. The vehicle would have only been under about 7 feet of crystal clear water, with the vehicle standing about 7 feet tall and the water maybe being 14 feet deep, and this being maybe 300 yards from where the party was. What are we missing? The truth needs to come out. Kylie's family, not just her mom. I mean, her mom is important, but not any more important than her dad or her grandfather or her little brother. People need to have truth so that they can put this to rest and move on. It's going to be rough, even with things going well. And in my opinion, it's not been going well. So on that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Sorry about the drab background again, especially with it's all color coordinated beige. But I do have some green fingernail polish, but that kind of looks drab too. It all kind of matches. Anyway, please like, subscribe, share if you feel so inclined. Thanks for watching. Thanks for allowing me to share my ideas with you. And I am just continuing to be amazed with this whole process, and I'm really feeling like it's a positive endeavor. So it's important to me to think that what I'm doing is helping the world become a better place, right? And some people think true crime is just crap. I'm not one of those people. I think it's important and I think it's fascinating because really in the end what we're all trying to do is we're all trying to stay safe. So we're trying to learn from all these situations how to keep our safety, right? It's all about safety. And in that, it's upon law enforcement to disclose what they know about accidents or incidents that have happened that have caused harm to people. It's imperative that they share that information so that the community can stay safe, right? In my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Drink your water, eat your veggies, your fruit, get some fresh air and exercise, and rest. You know the rest. Thanks.